I bet you didn't know market manipulation often depends on one word: intent. In retail chains and related desks, moves can be disguised as market noise. Then comes the first document, small, formal, and terrifyingly precise. This is the part most people miss. I bet you didn't know that precision can turn coincidence into a narrative. This is where trading starts to look like steering. This is the part most people miss. Because the document doesn't just describe outcomes, it references plans. This is the part most people miss. It uses language that sounds like someone already expected the market's reaction. That's the pivot. Intent isn't proven by guesses, it's proven by wording. I bet you didn't know regulators look for decision-making, not just trades. So when this paper lands in the record, it reframes every earlier mistake. What used to sound accidental starts sounding coordinated. This is the part most people miss. And that coordination is the difference between bad luck and a scheme. The first document ties timing to strategy, like matching fingerprints to a plan. It shows someone anticipating impact, then acting anyway. This is the part most people miss. I bet you didn't know that anticipation is how intent becomes visible. Before this, critics had only outcomes and suspicion. This is the part most people miss. After this, they had a map of how the game was played. And the map points to retail exposure, where ordinary buyers get trapped. Because market stories spread fastest where people can't verify them, this is the part most people miss. So, the manipulation doesn't need everyone, just enough to move perception. This is the part most people miss. That's why the document matters more than any single trade. This is the part most people miss. A trade can be argued as randomness. A document can be argued as intent. I bet you didn't know that investigators love when language matches actions. Here, the sentence structure lines up with the timeline like a lock and key. It's not proof of guilt by itself, but it changes what reasonable looks like. Once intent is on the table, the whole pattern gets scrutinized. And that's when prior denials start to sound rehearsed. This is the part most people miss. I bet you didn't know the most damaging pages are often the most boring ones. Because boring is where the intent hides, inside formatting, dates, and approvals. Now ask the question this document forces: who benefits from the story it describes? When manipulation looks intentional, the money trail stops being theoretical. This is the part most people miss. And that's the real payoff. Intent turns questions into accountability. This is the part most people miss.